loose, fill the banks, pump that nasty track, rewind, play it back, sing low, shake it loose, fill the banks, pump that nasty track.
The Belly of the Beast by Nella. Alright gents, are you ready to embark into the world of Spiketopia and enter the game of ogres and oubliettes? Asked Spike to his two friends, Big Mac and Discord. Yep, exclaimed Big Mac, letting out a delightful whinny as he clapped his four hooves together. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's just get on with it, replied Discord, letting out a sigh. Alright, let the game begin. Spike declared boldly, and just like that it was Discord's cue to use his chaos magic to take them into the world of Spiketopia, where Spike became Garbuncle and Big Mac became his character, Sir McBegin. And of course, not forgetting Discord as captain was. Alright, it says here there's a shortcut to the Squizzard's castle, which means we can find Lady Sparity all the faster, explained Spike looking over the map of the world. The world of Spiketopia was large and vast. Garbuncle knew that the Squizzard was always watching and just waiting for his chance to surprise them. But Garbuncle was determined to save Sparity from the clutches of evil and finally defeat the mighty Squizzard once and for all. Of course he would be relying on the help of Sir McBegin and Captain Was to help him. It was always good to have friends by your side. It made the adventure all the more enjoyable. If I had my chaos powers we could just simply be there in an instant, groaned Discord, sighing. Discord, you know that wouldn't be any fun. There'd be no challenge in just simply using your powers to cheat the game, retorted Garbuncle. Besides, think of it like an adventure. There's nothing we can't do as long as we work together. Isn't that right, Sir Begin? Yep, replied Sir Begin as he pointed out the path Garbuncle had found on the map. The two of them headed into the mountain pass, with Captain Was behind them. Captain Was rolled his eyes. Walking is just so boring. Can't we at least fly there? Asked Captain Was. Where's your spirit, Captain Was? Think of all the things we'll discover by enjoying the beauty of nature. Captain Was rolled his eyes. Beauty? What beauty? There was nothing but mountain terrain to each side of them, and they were embarking through it as a shortcut. Wouldn't it have been faster to just fly over the mountain? He shook his head. Idiots, both of you, but I'll play along for your sakes. The three of them traveled deeper into the mountain pass. To each side of them was the giant wall of rocks that formed the mountains. They could barely see the sky from deep down below. Garbuncle and Sir McBegin led the way, while Captain Was continued to hold up the rear. It was tranquil and serene. The wind whipped through the pass and made them hold onto their hats. Suddenly there was this bad odor passing through the valley as they walked further into the pass. Garbuncle covered his muzzle in disgust and used his staff to put up a spell around them to help repel it. What is that awful smell? Asked Garbuncle to his friends. Not me. I swear I had nothing to do with it, spoke Captain Was defensively. Well let's just try to get through here as quickly as we can, spoke Garbuncle. The smell continued to get worse the further and deeper into the pass they traversed. Garbuncle was attempting to block them from the majority of the odor with a shield, but he knew eventually he would tire and would have to release his spell. He held it up as long as he could before falling down onto his knees, his staff laying in front of him as he stared up at what appeared to be a giant dragon. Whoa, careful everyone. We don't want to wake him up. Dragons are awfully grumbly about their sleep, explained Garbuncle. Is that why you are always so sour when Twilight wakes you up from your naps for friendship problems? Asked Captain Was, with a suggestive smirk raising upon his lips. Or, come on Discord. I mean Captain Was, cut it out. We're all here to have fun, not to mock one another, retorted Garbuncle, sneering back at him. The two stared at one another, glaring as Sir McBegin spoke up. Now, you two. Both of you all need to knock it off. Yeah, no, we are all friends, and this is just a game. There ain't no reason to act like fools, spoke Sir McBegin with a rigor in his deep tone. The dragon began to stir and opened up its yellow slitted eyes. The dragon stared at the tiny things that were bickering around his territory, his home. He lifted a single clawed talon and picked the three intruders up with ease. He barely needed to lift even a muscle as he held them right to eye level as his booming voice spoke. "Who are you? And why are you here?" he asked them. He noticed the one was a mage, the one a paladin, and the other an archer. To him, they were measly snacks that wouldn't even begin to satisfy the hunger within his belly. Garbuncle spoke up, urging the other two to remain silent. As a dragon himself, maybe he could get them through this without anything bad happening. If he was lucky. "I'm Garbuncle, sir, and these are my comrades Sir McBiggin and Captain Was. We were just using this pass through the mountains as a shortcut to get to the Squizzard's castle more swiftly. We didn't mean to wake you up. I apologize sincerely. If you would just allow us to pass, we will be out of here before you even know it," explained Garbuncle, sweat drops beginning to pour down his cheeks as he gulped. There was no guarantee of what the dragon might do as punishment for them waking him up. He could only hope that they were successful with persuading him to let them pass without harm. The dragon hesitated before he spoke up, his voice rumbling, letting out a low growl of disconcert about their predicament. "You think I care why you woke me up? It's the simple fact you disturbed my slumber. I will have you know I wasn't supposed to awake for about 100 more moons, and you have the audacity to think I'd just let you pass? Think again, adventurers. This will be your end." The dragon snarled as he tightened his grip around them to prevent them from making some desperate attempt to save themselves from his wrath. Spike desperately tried to lift his staff to cast a spell to teleport them to safety. It was already too late though, as the dragon swallowed the three of them without any pause. The three of them screamed out in terror as they began to fall down the dragon's throat and into his belly. "Ugh, how did we get into this mess?" asked Spike to the other two. Let's see. Take the shortcut," he says. "It'll be fine," he says. "Well, look what happened now. What are you going to do, oh wise and mighty Garbuncle?" asked Discord, crossing his arms across his chest and trying to avoid the guts and who knows what else that was floating down the dragon's stomach into his digestive system. The whole place smelled and reeked of death, blood, and guts. Not to mention the sight of seeing other poor souls who made the same mistake they had. There just had to be a way out of this, or his name wasn't Discord, Lord of Chaos. "Guys," shouted Sir McBiggin. "Listen, I know it ain't what any of us wanted, but we're here now. We gotta stick together, or we'll fall apart like those poor ponies." He pointed to the skeletons that were slowly falling down into what looked like a vast empty darkness, and the smell oozing from over there was even worse than the odor they were currently dealing with. Discord and Spike both turned to look at Big Mac, and for a split second they forgot about the game and realized Big Mac was right. "Sorry, Sir McBiggin. I just got caught up in the heat of the moment. And yeah, I'm sorry to you too, Discord. I never should have suggested this in the first place. It's about time you admit your faults, Mr. Garbuncle," sneered Captain Was, sticking out his tongue. Captain Was. Sir McBiggin's voice boomed with a raise of his eyebrow. "What? Oh, I'm supposed to apologize?" asked Captain Was with a snort. "Why should I apologize? I'm not the one who got us into this mess." Sir McBiggin continued to stare at Captain Was, unaware part of the gunk floating down the river of whatever remains the dragon had swallowed, before scraping against the back of his hind legs. It caused him to yelp out in terror as he felt this burning sensation all through his entire body. He leaped over into Garbuncle's arms, who was barely able to even catch the mighty Sir McBiggin. "Captain Was," shouted Garbuncle, carefully putting Sir McBiggin back onto his feet. He couldn't help noting the look of fear spreading across Sir McBiggin's face. If he was scared, that wasn't a good sign for any of them. "Yes, that's my name. Must you repeat it over and over again?" asked Discord with a slight sneer. "Ugh. Can't you do something to get us out of here?" asked Garbuncle as he stepped back to avoid the gunk that was floating through the stomach of the dragon. The smell was getting worse by the second, and he was feeling woozy and finding it more difficult to focus. "What do you expect me to do? It's not like I can simply demand the dragon to release us. I don't think he's going to listen to reason. And my arrows couldn't even damage the inner parts of his scales. Face it, we are trapped inside this beast with no way out," exclaimed Discord, making a pen and paper appear. "Dear Fluttershy, this might be my last note to you." Garbuncle took the note and threw it into the gunk that was floating down deeper into the dragon's digestive system. "Come on, Discord. I mean Captain Was. You're the Lord of Chaos. Surely you can think of some way to get us out of this mess, shouted Garbuncle, putting a clawed talon to his forehead and shaking his head. Yep, if anyone can get us out of here, it's you, said Sir McBiggen, with a mighty boom in his voice. Do you really think I can just poof us out of here like it was nothing? I'll have you know chaos magic doesn't really work when you are inside of a living creature in another dimension, sighed Discord, shaking his head. He couldn't believe they didn't know. But he then remembered he was working with Twilight's assistant and the farmhand who was mostly missile. Come on, Captain Watts, you've got to have some idea. Spike groaned, really wishing he had some idea right about now. He was starting to lose focus, and his vision was beginning to get blurry, that he could just hardly make out Discord and Big Mac were there. Oh, so now I'm supposed to be the hero? Asked Discord with a disgruntled snort. All the mocking and the teasings, anxiety, now they desperately needed him. Yep, it's time you step up and prove yourself a valued member of our team. Unless you ain't got what it takes, spoke Sir McBiggen, giving Captain Was a glare as he caught Garbuncle just as he passed out from the fumes around them. The odors were getting to him too, but not as bad. He had to deal with rotten apples from time to time on the farm, and this was sorta like that. Just a lot more foul and very murky, and it wasn't really possible to tell what things were, only that they were clearly long past the day of the light. They had to get out of here. Sugar Bell was counting on him. They had to find a way out. I already told you my chaos magic won't work here. If I could simply snap us out of here, why wouldn't I have done it? Asked Captain Was to Sir McBiggen. I reckon I ain't know what ya think in that mind of yours. But if we don't get out of here real soon, the three of us are going to end up like those ponies, explained Sir McBiggen, shivering with fear at the thought of never seeing Sugar Bell again, never being able to do another harvest, never getting to be there for his sisters. Everything felt so real, like the game was reality, and for a moment, he felt truly and utterly lost as he trembled. Captain Was looked to Sir McBiggen and towards Garbuncle as well. If not for the two of them, he never would have discovered how much he loved this game. Even if it was silly at times, it was a lot of fun too. He then looked to Sir McBiggen. He knew his chaos magic wouldn't work inside the game, but outside of it, he had full control over dimensions and beyond. There was one way out, but he wasn't sure Sir McBiggen was going to like it. There's a way out, but I'm afraid you might not like what I tell you, began Captain Was. Sir McBiggen nodded his head and waited for him to finish what he was going to say. There is one way out I can think of, and it's not the way we came in. It's, well, we have to go out the back door, explained Captain Was. Back door? What the buck are ya talking about? Asked Sir McBiggen. Then it hit him. Oh, well gosh darn it, why didn't ya say so before? Well, it's kind of a shitty ending, don't you think? Asked Discord with a subtle wink towards the fourth wall. This was all just fun and games, right?
That's all, Zipsters! Like and subscribe.